big credit card companies are going to go broke in 2024, and they are going to stop lending to anyone with bad credit. The Biden administration has teamed up with the CFPB to go after all of these major banks: Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase Bank, American Express, just to name a few. They are going to go after them for junk fees. Now, this whole campaign started a year ago. Nobody thought it was a big deal, and now there was a bigger picture that has been exposed. Junk fees are very, very relevant to everyday consumers, but we're not talking about just concert junk fees or hotel junk fees. We're talking about credit card late fees. The Biden administration is going to deem that credit card late fees are junk fees. And what does that mean for everyday Americans? It's going to mean some type of relief, yes, but at the end of the day, big banks are going to lose billions of dollars. And if these big banks start to lose billions of dollars, then they're just not going to be lending money to just anybody anymore. So let's hear it from the horse's mouth. We need to hear what Uncle Joe, Sleepy Joe, whatever the hell you want to call him, has got to say about these late fees.
Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is proposing a new rule to lower credit card late fees. Right now, credit card companies charge an average of $31 whenever you can't pay your bill on time. That's on top of the interest that you're already paying. Now, nobody's saying that you shouldn't pay your fees on time, and no one says the bank should lend you money for free. But that's what banks charge interest for. But in the Obama-Biden administration, Congress passed a bipartisan law that said banks cannot charge late fees that are significantly more than the late payments cost them in the first place. And so, well, it doesn't cost $31 for a bank to process a late fee, but that's how much they're charging you now. And folks, that's a junk fee, if there ever was one. And it can drain hundreds of dollars a year from the pockets of hardworking American families, especially folks who are already struggling to make ends meet.
So right now, these big banks are literally waiting on the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau to finalize its rule to reduce credit card late fees to $8 per late fee in January. We are literally days away from finding out if this is going to go 100% live. And what's going to happen is, if these banks lose billions of dollars, they have to reduce their risk. And this is going to affect millions of Americans that are carrying balances on their credit card. Because if you've been carrying a balance on your credit card for far too long, you are deemed a high-risk borrower, and credit card companies will start to shut off people's credit cards and slash credit card limits. The first people that they're going to go after is people that do not have good credit. So you have excellent and you have good. You want to stay in at least the good sector. In order to have good credit, you have to have a 661 to a 780. I know that sounds insane, right? A 661 to a 780. That is crazy. If you are in the sector of a 580 to a 669, you are deemed a high risk borrower, and that's not where you want to be, because you're going to be the first person on the chopping block. So I'm going to give you a bunch of different options to help you reduce your utilization, the balances that are reporting on your credit report, and help you raise that score back up and get you into the green, because we don't want you in the red anymore. We need to get you into the green and get your score back up so they don't shut off your credit cards or reduce your credit limits. I'm going to give you two solid options to help you lower your utilization, which is the balances that are reporting from your credit cards. Option number one is going to be to have someone add you on as an authorized user, a friend or a family member. Do not pay somebody to do this for 30 or 60 days. You need this to be a long-term commitment. So this is why it's important to find a trusted family member or a trusted friend that has good credit and has a high limit credit card. Now, not a charge card. Make sure you do not do any American Express charge cards like the platinum card or the gold card, because that does not report a limit. We need a credit card that has a high limit that is double, triple, quadruple of the balances that you're actually reporting to actually give you more available credit. If we can have them give you more available credit, that's going to lower your utilization, which is also going to raise your credit score. And this is going to be the easiest way to fix this issue. And this is an even better option because it's going to cost you $0. And this is why you want to do it with a friend or a family member that's not going to charge you to add you on as an authorized user. Last part is the most important. Now, if you do not have that option, we have option number 2 for you. Option number 2 is going to be Stellarfi. I've been talking about Stellarfi and telling people how valuable this is because it's not just for credit building purposes. It's going to help you build credit, yes, but this can also help people lower their utilization. Now, the reason why this is super effective because you can report all of your actual subscription services. Anything that you can put on auto payment with a Visa card, you can use Stellarfi. Your Hulu, your Netflix, your actual cable bill, cell phone bill, your child support, anything that you can put on auto payment with a Visa, you can use Stellarfi. It's $9.99 a month for the middle tier program. That's going to get you all the way up to a $25,000 line of credit. The more bills that you can report on your Stellarfi account, the higher the limit that they can give you. And this can help you offset those balances and lower your utilization, which is going to help you raise your credit score. Now that we got our utilization down using option 1 or option 2, we need to find a good balance transfer credit card. But we don't want to go just applying anywhere and getting our credit dinged and dropping our credit score any more than it needs to. Now let's do a simple Google search of best balance transfer credit cards of 2024. You're going to get a list of about 11 to 15 credit cards. I found the list of 11. I'm going to tell you which credit cards you need to stay away from first and which ones you'll have a better chance of approval with. You need to stay away from anything Wells Fargo. It's pretty obvious. Wells Fargo is not a great bank to be with. Now, the next one, of course, my favorite, Bank of America. Need I say anything else about them? Stay away from them. Unless it's the business sector, you do not want to be messing with them on the personal side. Now, also, you want to stay away from US Bank. They do not like to be generous with new customers. Even if you're going after a balance transfer credit card, they do not generally offer high limits with their credit cards for new customers. So just remember that. Now, the Chase credit cards. You want to stay away from these because of the 524 rule. If you've already been applying, you will automatically get disqualified for that. And you need to come in with above a 725 FICO bank card score 8. And if you're carrying anything above 9% utilization, you have a higher chance of denial with them. So this is why we want to keep them off the list. The Citi Simplicity card and the Citi Double Cash card are great balance transfer credit cards. You can have a higher chance of approval with them. We've seen people come in with a 680 FICO bank card score 8 get approved all the way up to a 725. So you want to always generally come in with a 725 FICO bank card score 8, not your Credit Karma score. That doesn't matter. They're going to be looking at your FICO score. That's used by more than 90% of lenders out there. Now, a credit card that I did not find on any list, which was amazing to me, is the American Express Blue Cash Everyday card. Now, this is an amazing balance transfer credit card that a lot of people don't talk about. I feel like I'm the only one that ever talks about this specific balance transfer credit card. Now, the best part about applying for this credit card is there is no hard inquiry to see if you are approved. This is a huge deal. So they're literally going to tell you whether you're approved or not approved. If you're not approved, there's no hard inquiry. If you get approved and you accept the offer, then there will be a hard inquiry. Now, let me go over some of the details about this credit card. You're going to get $200 back after you spend $2,000 on purchases in the first 6 months of your card membership. That's pretty awesome. You're going to get 0% APR on purchases and balance transfers for 15 months from the date of account opening. That's very important to understand. But you're also going to get some perks on this credit card that, of course, we're not supposed to be spending on it, but if you need to use it, you're going to get 3% cash back at groceries up to $6,000 per year, 3% cash back on online retail purchases up to $6,000, 3% cash back on gas stations up to $6,000 per year, and then 1% cash back on everything else. This is a very solid credit card, and you can see if you are approved. This is a huge deal. There's going to be a link in the description of this video and in the comment section if you are interested in this card. Don't you worry your little heart. If none of this worked out for you and you still need some type of credit card or a loan, you can go to a major credit union. If you've already established a relationship with a credit union, or you know that your credit score is in good shape and you've heard of some other balance transfer credit cards out there, a lot of credit unions offer balance transfer credit cards, but you need to pay attention to the rules and restrictions because there are a lot more with actual credit unions. And also, if you've already established a relationship with a credit union, you need to look into a personal loan. So if you have high credit card debt that's sitting at 29 and 30% interest rate, you could potentially get a personal loan between, let's say, 6% to 10% with a good credit score and a good banking relationship to help you slash that credit card debt, put it all into one monthly payment, and pay it all off at the same time. And this can be tremendous for everyone's credit profile if you're able to qualify for a personal loan from an actual big credit union. Do not, and I repeat, do not take any personal loans from Credit Karma that they have been trying to sell you. Any personal loans that are coming from One Main Financial, Moneyline, or Lending Tree, stay away from all of those. Those are high interest loans and they will ruin you. We do not want to go take some steps backwards. We want to go forward. This is why we want to do the personal loan with a big credit union. Now you got yourself a balance transfer credit card with 12 to 15 months of 0% APR. So the clock is ticking and we need to pay off this debt. Or you consolidate it all into one personal loan. Either way, you need to come up with a master plan to pay off this debt. My friend Just Jay Woodfin made a video. It's called How to Pay Off Your Maxed Out Credit Cards with Zero Cash Flow. It is using Velocity Banking. He breaks it down from step one all the way to the finish line on how to pay off your credit card debt. Make sure you watch that video. I didn't want to put it in this video because it's a long process and we have to make a separate video. So go watch his video on how to actually pay off your credit card debt as fast as possible using Velocity Banking. I hope this video helped you get back on track financially for the year 2024, because there is a massive storm that is brewing with these big banks and everyone that's carrying balances is at risk. Now make sure that you watch the next video because it is recommended by YouTube. And don't forget, subscribe to increase your credit score.